NBA Files here on RVNTV. I'm your host, Felicia Michelle. As always, I'm with my favorite guys, Everett, Terry, E.T., and Kwame Fisher-Jones.
We better be favorites this week.
I'm favorites every week.
I don't know about all of that.
If
today we're favorites.
Cardi B, I will adore you for life.
Oh my gosh, we're not even going to go there.
We're not starting off the show.
No, not at all. So today, we're opening up. So former LA Clipper Chris Paul, he just actually had a recent, very introspective interview. So Kwame, were you feeling the love from Paul, or?
You know, I get feedback when I throw my paper.
That size is
because they ask
telling.
me who you throwing your paper at because you want to throw it at somebody because you already throw it at certain moments. So I'm just going to throw it right now, get it out of the way. And that wasn't planned. When I watched the interview, I'm going to talk to you because he's a Chris Paul fan, so I got to address this to you. When I watched the interview, I thought of Rihanna.
What?
You know the song, Take a Bow?
Oh my gosh.
Applause.
Yes.
The curtain's finally closing.
Yeah.
You're telling a lie. The lie that Chris Paul played a role in his departure, or that he was this top flight player, has been going on long enough. If anything, that interview taught us was he did not pick Houston. The Clippers did. He did not pick to leave LA. The Clippers decided to get rid of him. So I'm going to redirect it to you. Not only did the Clippers get rid of Paul, they traded him to a Western Conference team. Mm-hmm. Not only a Western Conference team, but a team that beat them in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And a championship contender. Mm-hmm. So when you talk to me about what type of player Chris Paul is, I got all these notes. You know, he's a classy dude, great piece by Mark Spears and all that. But as I was listening to that Rihanna song as I was watching the interview and stuff, I'm a Rihanna fan. Yes, I admit it. You shake your head at me. Don't judge me. You was listening to Celine Dion the other day. So yes, he was. But anyway, you have argued with me ad nauseum about the level of competency of Chris Paul. Does his departure to a Western Conference championship team by the hands of his own team, in an interview in which he pretty much solidified that in his comments, are you now ready to admit that he is the poster child for overrated?
No.
Dang, that's a little extreme.
That's what overrated looks like. That's what overrated looks like.
The Clippers realized that with the way that they were structured, they wanted to go with Blake because he's younger. They could build a little more with him. They couldn't keep the two of them together. That's what they realized. Why couldn't they? Because Chris Paul's on the plus side of 30. And how many more years do you get him at a higher level versus Blake, who you can get at a higher level for more years because he's younger? That's what they looked at. And when they realized they had to make a move, where they were going to get the most pieces back. Houston doesn't necessarily need a Chris Paul, but what it does do is it gives them ample pieces to pull in to make another move for, Carmelo Anthony, and now give them a nice big three in the West, which I promise will get them to at least the second round, something that both Melo and Harden and CP3 have had a hard time getting past in their professional careers.
So they get to the same point.
Not necessarily. I think that depending on matchups, they're good enough to get to Golden State in the Western Conference Finals with that three.
Okay. He was asked a specific question. Are you guys going to be co-point guards? How do you make it work? Mm-hmm. How do two All-Stars so great with the ball make it work? I don't know. You just do it. You just find a way.
Right.
That screams success.
That was like the worst answer ever.
Thank you.
That was Nike's slogan. You just said just do it.
I answered this when you brought this up last week. Listen. This is where the creativity of Mike D'Antoni matters, because before the Houston Rockets pulled the trigger on this,
2 minutes
they went to D'Antoni and said, "Hey, D'Antoni, can you make this work?" You know what he said? Yes. Because if he'd have said no, they wouldn't have brought him in. They had to get the sign off from both him and James Harden for this to happen. If you think that they didn't, then go back and check about the power and influence of players and coaches when front office is making decisions about bringing over big names.
Stop right there. Power influence of coaches and players who have won nothing. It does matter. If I ask a bum how to manage money, what is he going to tell me? He's going to give me the worst ideas possible. Because
who's a bum?
The coach?
Is James Harden not a top 10 player in the NBA?
I don't give a damn if he's a top 10. It's number one and it's the rest. If you want to make him top 10, that's great. He's not number one. That's all that matters to me. He's the number one player in the league. I'm
not saying he's number one. What I'm saying is the fact he's not number one doesn't mean
you can argue all day about 2 through 10. I don't give a rat's ass about that. My argument is he's not number one and he'll never be number one because nobody in their right mind who has played on a championship team wants an overrated ball-dominating point guard, which is what Chris Paul is. Mike D'Antoni would take...
Kyrie Irving's a ball-dominating point guard that's won a championship on a championship
I said
team.
Once.
Right. But guess what? Cleveland won't move Kyrie Irving, will they? They could have for Paul George, but they wouldn't.
We don't know
What?
that.
Lies.
We don't.
We all know that. We all know
don't
that. See, don't make the argument fit when you want it to fit. We all know that Kyrie Irving for Paul George was on the table, but Cleveland didn't want to give up Kyrie, a ball-dominant point guard who arguably dribbles the air out of a ball every time he has the possession. But guess what? They won a championship with him, and the reason they won was because he lit up Steph Curry in a championship game 7.
He did not light up Steph Curry. Like 9 for 25.
Did you not watch how clutch he was down the stretch in the finals?
You're throwing a lot at me right now.
Take it all in. Take a second.
And hopes that I get lost in your force.
I'm trying to get you lost.
It's not going to happen. Let me redirect you back to the question at hand. We were discussing Chris Paul.
And you brought a ball down the point guard. You said nobody on the championship team wants one.
And if you want to interject an argument about Kyrie Irving, who I have said ad nauseum is not a top flight player, we can do that another time. Okay. But we're talking about a player who cannot get past the second round. Dude that has habitually lost, and I believe got traded to the team that came back and beat that behind when they were down 3-1. So if you want to ask a novice on how to get to a destination, don't get mad when you get lost.
I can't wait for the season to start.
He's like rocking before he even gets
started. Because he knows I'm right.
I can't wait for the season to start.
Yes,
see, all of this sounds great in the offseason. As long as D'Antoni finds a way to utilize the talent of those guys, which I think he can do creatively, they're going to be fine. It's not for Chris Paul to know at this point. Chris Paul just got there. D'Antoni's the one supposed to work that out. He'll figure it out. Trust me as I tell you.
We'll see. So let's move on. Let's go from Houston to OKC.
Got me sweating already.
So, I know.
It's hot in here.
It's
not.
It's
about to get hotter for you.
Oh,
that's
Lord.
fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Everett, do you think that Paul George will re-up with Oklahoma City?
I think it depends on how it goes. I think if he comes in, he and Russell Westbrook play well off each other, which isn't likely because Russell Westbrook can't play with other stars, clearly. He's going to probably opt out and go to LA, which is where he's wanted to go anyway. I think it just makes sense for him to play the year out, see how it goes, make a nice playoff run, get out of the first round, get out the second round, have a chance to, see what playing in the Western Conference is like before he goes to the Lakers, where playing with Lonzo Ball, according to how Lonzo Ball's been playing, actually looks like a good idea.
Okay.
You know I'm still going to dig in there. You know I'm still going to dig in there.
You see how you show my boy some love. It's okay.
I never said I didn't like Lonzo. I never said that. His shooting still needs work.
We'll be talking about Lonzo Ball out of bounds right after NBA Files. Super shameless plug. But I want to go back to you just said.
What time is out of
2:30.
Thank you.
2:30. Okay. So wait, you said Russell Westbrook cannot play with other superstars.
No, he's the kid that gets in the sandbox.
That's what caught me and Kwame.
He's the kid that wants to get in the sandbox. It's my sandbox. It's mine.
Fight back.
I don't care if you're the better person at making sandcastles. I want to make the sandcastle. I don't care if the sandcastle was poop.
All right.
I don't care. I want to make the sandcastle.
Isn't that what superstars do though? Like you are like super competitive and you're trying to be the best and you push each other to be the best. So it's like maybe he said he kicked the sandcastle over.
Yes
I would get that analogy, but it was bad.
I'm gonna give you a yes and no to that because listen, outside of maybe Michael Jordan, every superstar at some point in the course of their championship caliber careers, and I'm only talking championship superstars, not the guys who were good but never won anything. It doesn't matter. Charles Barkley, run down the list of guys who've been great that have not won. Okay?
And Chris Paul's in the picture. I'm just saying, he's holding the slate.
But let me make my argument.
Second round.
All those guys have learned at some point to defer to a greater talent on their team. Shaq did it when he deferred to Wade. LeBron did it. Wade did it when he deferred to LeBron. Kobe did it when he started to defer to Gasol and them other guys because Plan B and the guy that wanted to put up 100 points a game and, scoring titles and all that won him nothing in the playoffs. You have to learn how to play with the guys around you. And the problem with Russell Westbrook is he doesn't want to defer. When he had the second greatest player in the NBA, he didn't want to pass him the ball when he needed to. And he wanted to take the game over and shoot them out of games. Eye test, constantly, consistently, which is why they didn't win in the playoffs. Now you get a guy like Paul George, who some will argue is a fringe star, superstar based on, who you ask and when you ask it. He's a guy that doesn't necessarily need to be that guy. He can be a Robin to Russell Westbrook being a Batman. And I think that if they play well, he finds ways to get Paul George in spots and they have some success. Maybe he re-ups. But I don't see why he want to re-up in OKC when they still need another piece in order to compete for a title. He'd be better fit to just leave and go to LA like he's going to and go from there with a younger team where he gets to go back to building with Lonzo Ball and whatever else they're going to have, and then put the Staples and the Lakers back on the map. Make them relevant again. I think they make the playoffs.
If you had stopped in the first 30 seconds, you'd have been right. If you had stopped in the first 30 seconds, said yes, but it depends, you would have been right. The more you spoke, the more the back hair on my back started to raise.
That is CMI.
The fact that you have back hair is scary.
The point is, how can you sit here and say with a straight face Russell Westbrook is not a star in this league?
I didn't say he wasn't a star.
Okay.
Where did that come out of my mouth?
Hold on.
Rewind the tape, producer.
Superstar in this league.
Who said he wasn't a superstar? I said he can't play with other superstars.
Hold on.
That's what I said.
On.
If you gonna quote
that is what he said.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Light and brights. Hold on. Now, how can you sit here and say a superstar needs to defer at any moment in the game? Tell me when a superstar in their prime deferred. Shaq was not in his prime when he was in my.
In 2006, Shaq was still the most dominant center in the NBA.
He
was still the most dominant center in the NBA.
Who didn't get traded for an All-Star?
He got traded because he was on the plus side of 30 and Kobe was on the uprise.
I don't give it. You can throw that out there. If he's the most dominant player in the game, how does he get traded for not even one All-Star player?
Because I just told you, they had to make a decision between Shaq and Kobe. Kobe was several years younger on the prime of his career. Shaq was on the back of his career, even though he was still the most dominant center in the NBA.
And the best deal they got did not contain an All-Star for the most
dominant
player.
It didn't matter. They knew they were going to lose him. They knew that they were going to lose him for less. They had to make a trade. It wasn't a great trade, but they traded him to the East.
I'm going to bring it back quickly to answer your question. As he said in the first 30 seconds, it depends on how they play with each other. I believe Russell will play well with another alpha male. Kevin Durant is not an alpha male. He is a tender, sensitive young man. And the tenderness is shown, obviously, on the ESPYs, where we're still trying to figure out if Peyton Manning is too mean to him.
I was actually a little
Russell Westbrook wears blouses. How can a man that wears blouses be an alpha male?
Exactly. Russell Westbrook wears blouses and dresses to the game.
So how is he too mean?
Let's just reel it back into what we were actually talking about. So Kwame, between OKC and Houston, who's going deeper into the playoffs?
I'm going with OKC.
Goodbye.
Harden and Paul going to implode.
That's a no for you?
Yeah, I know, right? That's a hard no. Hold on. Just like through all the argument, through all the banter, just put all that aside for a second and just look at the basketball factors.
Fair.
You have one of the best players at their position in their prime coming off a triple-double. One of the best young coaches in the game in Billy Donovan. And you also have one of the best wing players in the game in Paul George. On a team playing for not just their contracts, but playing to kind of eliminate the misconception about them. Going to a team in James Harden, who just signed a contract. Well, yeah, but just signed a contract for no apparent reason other than to keep him relevant. A guy that has known to take plays off on the defensive end, being kind by saying that. A guy who has struggled with keeping his weight in line, and a man who struggles to move without the ball. Playing with a guard who alienates and irritates everyone he plays with.
Because he wants to win.
Hold on. Going into us, you can win it, but if you can't motivate people, everybody wants to win. How you get there is what differentiates people.
Everybody don't want to win.
Okay. But, well, thank you, sir. Thank you, Pops. So, the bottom line is that team is better suited to
By the way, they're going to add Melo, which, if you have to compare Paul George versus CP3 and Melo, I take CP3 and Melo over Paul George.
I don't think Melo goes there. Melo doesn't want to go there. That's why the deal can't get done. Melo looks at one thing. That's exactly why
they're trying to find another team to facilitate because there's guys in the deal that neither side want.
You don't think his lifestyle plays into the fact that he doesn't want to leave New York City?
No.
What his wife is there. Her career is there.
They're done. He's got a whole baby on the way.
No, they're not done.
Okay,
they're not done.
What we're not going to do is discuss their life.
What we're not going to do is get out of bounds on the NBA fight.
Yeah, well, if you wanted to bring it in, you wanted to interject his wife. I didn't bring her in there.
Let me reel it back in here because you jumped the gun a little bit. But I don't believe Melo, basketball acumen-wise, gets the respect that he should. And a basketball mind is looking at Houston and everyone is saying the same thing. How is that going to work? Carmelo wants to go to Cleveland. The sticking point there, from what I'm hearing...
They don't have anything to trade.
Well, no, the sticking point is New York is willing to buy him out if he promises not to go to Cleveland. And he's not going to do that. So they're trying to ship him out of the conference, and they're trying to get him to go to Houston because they think between him and Chris Paul being friends, he'll agree to remove the no-trade clause. He's not willing to do that. That's what's holding up this deal. And to be honest with you, I'm going to take it one step further, which a lot of people don't talk about. It's not just D'Antoni that Carmelo had problems with. Jeff Bizlick is the assistant coach in Houston. Carmelo hated him when he was in Denver. So you've got 1-2 coaches and a system that doesn't fit him.
Carmelo was younger and dumber back then, though. He's a lot older, more mature.
Disrespectful. How you gonna call him dumb?
When you're young, you're dumb. We all were young and dumb. You were young and dumb. I was young and dumb.
I was never dumb.
gonna be old and dumb, so that doesn't even matter.
You old.
I'm not old.
Listen. Oh,
I'm not old.
I don't know them candles say otherwise.
I know them candles
anyway,
say smoke detector off.
Thank you. Happy belated birthday to me. Thank you. And we'll be right back. The NBA Files RVNTV. I can't stand y'all.
Thank you.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cooked and Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30 every Monday.
See you there. Got a quarter?
Welcome back to the NBA Files here on RVNTV. I am Felicia Michelle, always joined with Everett, Terry, and Kwame Fisher-Jones. So as players are getting acclimated to their new homes, it seems that somebody still doesn't have a place to call home. Kwame, why is Derrick Rose still available? And do you think that he'll be on someone's opening night roster?
I got it. Because, it's just funny.
You're so stressed.
No, because Everett is silly. Look, I have hated Derrick Rose for quite some time.
Jeez.
And hate is a strong. Well, you know why? It's not Derrick Rose per se, to use an attorney word. It's not Derrick Rose per se. It's what he stands for. He is the poster child for the new media. He was elevated to a level he should not have been in.
He was an MVP.
He should not have won the MVP that year. LeBron had a better statistical year, had a better impact on the league, but everyone hated him. He earned it that year. But the bigger issue is, and that's what it is. But it's like a comet. He's like a comet. He had these fantastic plays. Everyone sat back in awe of it. And now they're sitting there hoping it happens again. His career is done. He's a
fringe player at this point. He's a contributor, but he's no longer a starting one.
But when he gets an interview, he goes to a team, it's news. Derrick Rose is going to visit with the Milwaukee Bucks. No, he's begging for the Milwaukee Bucks for a job. Derrick Rose may re-up with the Knicks. No, he's begging the Knicks for a job. He probably is on the way out of the NBA, and with him, everybody who elevated him to that level should be pushed back on whatever websites they write for, whatever media. No, because it questions your basketball intellect when you take a guard who played as hard as he did, at a level that he did, and couldn't stay healthy. Similar to what we're going through in Philly, and we'll talk about Markelle Fultz and all those things. It irritates basketball fans because they throw out these numbers to justify their opinion or argument because it's not transitioning on the screen. And Derrick Rose is the poster child for that. It never worked. He had a hell of a team in Chicago. Thibodeau got another job based off of the fact that Chicago, some believe, underachieved when they got pretty much as far as they could. They weren't good enough to get over and up because he wasn't good enough. So, no, I don't think he winds up on an opening day roster, and I don't think he winds up on a team. I think he'll be sitting here with us next week.
I was gonna say, I was gonna
or
say,
at your local wall.
I was gonna say the only opening night roster he'll be on is
not even Target.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only opening night roster I have him on is the one at Moss Rehab. I think that's a good fit for him. They've got availability there. They can use him in star power. Hey, why not bring him in? Give him an opportunity. Here's the thing.
Would you take him in Philly? I know I'm just throwing a curveball. Would you take him in Philly?
To come off the bench? He's better
Well,
than
he's not coming off the bench.
To come off the bench, to play ahead of TJ McConnell, absolutely. He could still get 20, 25 minutes in that
he would
offense.
come off the bench?
He's at a point in his career he don't have to say.
He should. Yeah, he does.
He does. That's why he's unemployed. Exactly. Because he doesn't have a say over whether or not he's going to start or come off the bench. You got to look at it like teams don't want to invest in a starting point guard who they have no confidence is going to last in NBA season.
And who's going to not show up for a game? Let's call it what it is.
Listen,
you rip Melo. You rip Melo. Melo ain't never MIA'd on a game. You get a check in your locker after a game. He said, I'm good. Where were you at? I was handling that thing with them.
You know what's funny about that?
No nouns, no nothing.
You know what's funny about that? I saw a meme that said AI was giving him a hug and it said, don't skip games, skip practice.
But you know what? Even that, he shouldn't be in the same conversation with Allen Iverson. You know I don't think that highly. I mean, I like Allen Iverson, but
I saw him at Dave & Buster's.
Who didn't see Allen Iverson?
No, I'm talking about recently. I saw him walking around Dave & Buster's by himself. Talk about at the end of your career. Talk about the comment fade.
Gets dark and lonely.
Nobody near him. Just no entourage, nothing. Just, you know.
It gets dark and lonely.
That's terrible. Okay. So the league has decided to make some change for next season. One of those changes being that the season will start 2 weeks earlier. Do you guys think that this will be a benefit for the players, disadvantage?
I absolutely think that it will be a benefit. It's going to make for, in terms of the totality of the season, a little bit longer. But the upside is they won't play as many back-to-back. There'll be a little more spacing between the games, which will give guys like Greg Popovich, who's known to rest guys, less of an excuse to rest guys, although he probably still may anyway. You know, the likelihood that you'll see LeBron take off 7 to 10 games a year just because, you know, he just wants to rest against, you know, Charlotte or the Sixers or whoever. You know, he might actually play those games because, you know, they're going to have space in between from the rest. I understand it. I like it. To be honest with you, I think that all sports need to limit their preseason. The games don't count for anything, and it'd be much better if you just let the regular season either extend longer and take those 2 weeks out, or you add more games to the length of the regular season to give people, a buying fan who's going to pay hard money, something to actually watch that's worth, it has meaning, it has value.
I swear you find, like, you sit and study little phrases that you know are going to tick me off. Games don't count. Like, I was going to say the main reason I disagree is because you suggested it, because you're a diabolical hater. And you really are. You really are. Like, games, when doesn't competition matter?
In preseason?
Winning is a habit.
I'll tell you. Let me ask you one question. Just one question.
Go ahead, I'm going to give you one answer.
Pull the stats for anybody that's ever played any professional sport ever. Show me what their preseason numbers were total to their regular season stats. Nobody counts them. They don't count. The wins and losses don't matter. They don't change standings. They don't change position. The Philadelphia Phillies were in first place in preseason, spring training. Okay? Then games started counting, and you see where they are. The Philadelphia 76ers, top of the world in preseason.
No,
the games don't
top of the world. They haven't won a preseason game.
You're missing my point.
No, you're missing.
If you go to the games that count right now, they're first place, top for first in the division. Because the games don't count until the first night of regular season. Why do we care about preseason games? You're charging me $10 to go and sit there and watch Slopfest 101. Nobody wants to sit there and watch some D-leaguers run up and down the floor for $10. I don't want to see it. I'd rather wait till the games count.
Winning is a habit.
Agreed. And you're not even putting your best product on the floor in preseason.
You don't start that habit game one of the regular season.
You don't put starters on the floor in preseason.
You have to put starters on. You know, they don't have to play 40 minutes, 30 minutes, but they need to develop the pattern that is going to allow them to elevate their game in regular season. It's just like, you know what? It's to break it down in a nice, simple way. It's stretching before a strong workout.
And I didn't say eliminate it 100%. I said
you
shorten
said it doesn't count.
I said shorten it because it doesn't count. Yes, shorten it because it doesn't count.
And I would, if you had stopped at that first 15 seconds, you would have been fine.
I said shrink it because it doesn't count.
It does count.
Okay.
It does count.
Counts for what?
It counts for building a winning contender. Use the Sixers as an example. Right now, and I shouldn't say this because we're going to be having a guest soon, but I'm going to interject it now.
Sure.
Right now, Josh Jackson, De'Aaron Fox, and Lonzo Ball are talking about playoffs in Summer League. Doesn't mean much to anybody.
No, it doesn't.
But you know what Sixer fans are talking about? It doesn't matter. Because the number one pick is hurt again. And a culture that feeds into that.
And he got hurt in a game that counts for nothing.
But he got hurt because they weren't prepared. I don't even think the boy had his ankles taped. Which is, again, winning culture. Every little thing matters.
How does his ankles being taped have to do with winning culture?
Because if you're a winning culture, you take pride in yourself, you take care of yourself. Like I said, something simple. Good workout, you stretch beforehand so you don't pull a muscle.
Is this like a practice how you play type of thing?
Exactly.
Why did he slammed the paper?
Because you do these things on purpose, and I know you do, and I feed into it like an idiot every time. But you do these things on purpose. Winning matters, and when you sit here and watch a basketball team, I know you're about to move on, but when you sit here and watch a basketball team lose year after year after year, and watch the residents in that city say, "Yeah, I am. I'm Bitter Beer Man. Call me Bitter Beer Man," because you're watching a guy roll his ankle. It's not even taped. It's not even taped. You're watching him.
How does that have to do with Markelle unless to do with the fact that the organization and the trainers
because you
didn't take it
never
up?
see winning teams have those little nagging injuries. Tenderness in the knees,
I've seen
migraines. Well, I'm watching Lonzo Ball go 2 triple-doubles in 4 games. Yeah, now you
He's
want
not
to be a
wearing
Lakers
those big
fan.
baller brands. I've been a Laker fan. Stop it. He's not wearing those big baller brand sneakers. That's what I do notice. Some $400 sneakers sitting right at home in a box.
So
The Nikes is winning. Yeah.
So one of the changes that they did not make was realignment. So
I've been
Everett,
screaming this.
let me ask you the
Yes.
question first. Please, let me ask the question
ahead.
first. All right. Should the league change its playoff format?
Yes. In case you didn't hear me, yes, absolutely. You know why? Because I'm sick and tired of seeing the Cleveland Cavaliers coast through the East every single year, and LeBron gets to these finals, and he doesn't really have to work hard, and nobody cares what the Celtics do because they're only 6 games and getting swept or knocked off in the playoffs anyway, and they're the best that the East has to offer. If you took the top 16 teams and you spaced them out categorically, regardless of where they were, and you put record against record, and you sat there and watched Cleveland lose a 5-16, have a tough road to the finals, and let the really the best 2 teams play in the finals every year, you really get to see where the creme de la creme is. You don't see it right now. What you see is a whole bunch of guys in the West fighting and beating each other up, and then they get to the finals, and maybe they're healthy enough, maybe the guys are prepared, maybe they're not. Now, the last 2 years have been an anomaly because Golden State's just been the better team. But if you go back to years before that, where the guys in the Western Conference Finals, and people would say, yo, this would have been a great finals. The matchups in the finals in the Western Conference are always better than the East. Nobody watches the playoffs in the East because nobody cares. It's the Western playoffs that everybody wants to watch. Okay. Those are the ones that everybody wants to watch.
You don't watch playoffs in the East. I watch playoffs in the East. I do.
You really watch Toronto?
Yeah, I do.
Goodbye.
Because I didn't want Kyle Lowry, and I wanted to make sure that what I saw was actually.
That's a personal reason. I'm talking about, did you watch the Toronto Raptors in the playoffs?
I did. I watched them. I also like DeMar Rosen. I also liked Jonas Velasquez. I like
Valanciunas. You don't even know his name.
If he's American, I can say his name. So I like those players. I like Toronto's coach, Dwayne Casey. I think he's one of the top coaches in the game. I like his. Look, I love basketball.
I love basketball too.
No, you don't, because
I like watching good basketball.
No, you're a front runner.
I like watching good basketball.
No,
I'm a Laker fan. How am I a front runner? The Lakers haven't been good.
Hello, who's the best team? Who's the most Lakers team?
The Lakers haven't been good in a while, and I'm okay with that.
The question is,
right? Because you're off topic.
Should they change?
Stop changing the narrative, Kwame.
So if you say yes, and more yes, how are they supposed to do that? Like seeds?
Take the top 16 seeds when the playoffs come, match them up 1 through 16 and let them play.
And you don't think that's going to be crazy travel for these teams? And
what are airlines for? What are airlines and airports for? Listen, let me tell you what the problem was. After the Western Conference Finals ended, we had to wait 2 weeks. We had to wait 2 weeks for the finals. There's more than enough lag time between the start of the finals because of the TV negotiating contract rights and the start of the playoffs that they could fly to wherever the hell they need to on their private jets that they now own, because guys don't have to take buses and shuttles across country for games anymore. They can now fly private commercial because all these owners have their own planes, fly to wherever they need to fly and let them play. It's not that big of a deal. They don't play back-to-back. They fly every other night.
I mean, I don't like it because, I know I'm saying
LeBron would never make another finals. Yeah, carry on.
First of all, the great LeBron James. Oh no, you got Steph behind you.
Hey, good job, producer. Finally fixed.
So I don't like it though, and like I said, I'm so opening myself up to this, but I know it's gonna happen. I am a stickler for consistency. When we have an argument,
older people tend to like tradition.
I know it's coming. I know
older people tend to really want to stick to those traditions.
I know it's coming. She's about 15 minutes from a gray hair. It happens. Ooh. So she probably got 2 or 3
I was
already.
about to say, she probably
got 2 or 3 already. What's that?
But y'all will always have more than me, so it's fine.
That's fine.
So
I embrace my salt and pepper.
But we argue all the time, and one of your phrases you like to tell me is step out of 96 or step out of the 90s. And you like to give players credit, but the issue I have with that is they have been aided by a lot of things that the younger generation or the older generation didn't have, and they still managed to succeed. Stretching out, realignment, pushing the season back 2 weeks, that allows them to accumulate statistics that their talent normally would not have accumulated if they played under the same rules and regulations that the predecessors.
It's the same 82 games.
But the rest matters. So if you push the season back 2 weeks, you're eliminating back-to-back games, pretty much essentially. And when you do the 16...
No, it's not as many. You're not going to eliminate them all, but you'll eliminate a lot.
Exactly, but going through the wear and tear. You know what you'll do? And I hate to say his name, but Ralph Sampson 2.0 will be able to make more appearances. Because they won't have to.
Well, that's what they want. They want a better product.
I don't want that as a fan. I want to see guys be successful in the sense, so I can say LeBron is better than Jordan. I can say John Stockton was a better all-around player, and Isaiah Thomas was a better all-around player.
Not that Mount Rushmore argument, please. Let's not.
Thank you, guys. When we come back with more on as the 76ers turn, our favorite segment, watching the NBA Thoughts on RVNTV. Yes, mine.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cooked and Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30 every Monday.
See you there. Got a quarter?
Hi, I'm Jim Cucinato. I'm inviting you to watch my show on the Halo Health Network on RVN. We cover everything you always wanted to know about health but was afraid to ask. We have interesting guests who can help you how to live healthier, how you can be smarter about your health, how you can help your family live healthier and be healthier. We are on Tuesdays from 9:30 Eastern Time to 10 o'clock. Please come and watch us.
If you have a story or product that you'd like to share with our viewers as a guest on the Morning Coffee Show, please contact us at info@radiovisionnetwork.com.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cooked and Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30 every Monday.
See you there. Got a quarter?
Hi, I'm Jim Cucinato. I'm inviting you to watch my show on the Halo Health Network on RVN. We cover everything you always wanted to know about health but was afraid to ask. We have interesting guests who can help you how to live healthier, how you can be smarter about your health, how you can help your family live healthier and be healthier. We are on Tuesdays from 9:30 Eastern Time to 10 o'clock. Please come and watch us.
If you have a story or product that you'd like to share with our viewers as a guest on the Morning Coffee Show, please contact us at info@radiovisionnetwork.com.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole, tamales, and ceviche. Our weekday lunch special is just $7.99. We also offer Saturday and Sunday brunch. Enjoy the largest selection of tequilas in South Jersey, Mexican beers, bottle and draft beers, fresh margaritas, and daily beer and margarita specials. La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, family owned and operated since 2002.
Hi, I'm Becky.
And I'm Eric.
And this is Cooked and Uncorked.
It is.
It is. And you can check us out Mondays at 10:30.
10:30 every Monday.
See you there. Got a quarter?
Hi, I'm Jim Cucinato. I'm inviting you to watch my show on the Halo Health Network on RVN. We cover everything you always wanted to know about health but was afraid to ask. We have interesting guests who can help you how to live healthier, how you can be smarter about your health, how you can help your family live healthier and be healthier. We are on Tuesdays from 9:30 Eastern Time to 10 o'clock. Please come and watch us.
If you have a story or product that you'd like to share with our viewers as a guest on the Morning Coffee Show, please contact us at info@radiovisionnetwork.com.
Today's show has been sponsored by More Than Gifts. Come see our new location in Marlton, New Jersey. Not just gifts, but more.
Most of the time, it's easy to know which option is better. Other times, not so much. So it's good to know that Mazola corn oil has 4 times more cholesterol-blocking plant sterols than olive oil. And a recent study found that it can help lower cholesterol 2 times more. Take care of those you love and cook deliciously. Mazola makes it better.
La Esperanza Mexican Restaurant and Bar, the best authentic Mexican restaurant in South Jersey. Your friends and family will enjoy the fun and the food, like our staple guacamole.
Welcome back to the NBA Files. This is my favorite segment as the 76ers turned, and we are so privileged to be joined by sports writer John Mitchell from the Philadelphia Tribune. Okay, so I'm going to get right in it. So, are you impressed with the performance of Markelle Fultz so far? How you feeling about him?
I like what I've seen from him. I haven't seen enough because at the end of the day, it's summer league. I mean, you know, you have Ball putting up triple doubles night in and night out. But I don't take too much away from it. I like what I say. I think he has jumper. I like that defensively. Those are my biggest questions about him going into training camp. But so far, I like what I've seen. But like most first-round picks by the 76ers, we're not seeing enough because of his body's failing.
And we already saw NGA, no, right?
It's funny you say that, and I think you're sitting over there on the 76ers propaganda side. Because I don't, my bigger issue, and we talked about this before you came in, John, was I believe winning is a habit.
It is.
And I believe it's something that you build in those summer league moments when you cultivate those winning plays or find things. In the one game he did play, the hype game against Jason Tatum. Yeah, the one game, as sad as that sounds, the one game he did play, the Sixers were up by 14. And then Tatum scores, I think, 8 or straight 9 buckets, and they wind up losing. And then he comes back and he gets hurt on a defensive play where the guy beat him. He did the thing that he did at Washington. He leans back to let the guy go by him. Then he tries to walk him down and get a weak block. My concerns with him are more concerns with the Sixers in the sense that I don't think they're being taught how to win.
Well, that's a good point, and there's no one there to teach them amongst the players how to win. You have Brett Brown who won in San Antonio, but this is a young amalgamation of players. You've got Markelle Fultz 1 year at college. You've got Joel Embiid 31 games in 3 seasons, which is something to raise all kinds of questions about. You've got Ben Simmons, who is something we anticipate seeing, but there's no one there who can take them into the season. Right now they're looking at they're going to turn to J.J. Redick to be that guy, as their leader. I think the one thing that will help them is that if you look at it, LeBron has really taken an interest in molding Ben Simmons. And whenever a super player takes interest in a guy, LeBron wouldn't be messing with him if there wasn't something special there. So that's what I see. But from a standpoint of leadership and knowing how to win, it's not there right now.
And hey, I'll let you chime. I'm gonna chime in. But your 3 cornerstones couldn't even get to the NCAA tournament.
But don't put any emphasis on that.
Really?
Yeah, I really.
They've never won anywhere.
Yeah, I really don't because college basketball has become so watered down with the one and dones. There's no comparison to an NBA season and becoming efficient and effective as opposed to the NCAA. It's just you have people who are going to work.
But they couldn't even be potent and watered down.
But I just don't. When people bring that up, I just don't get it. Kwame, I love your mind, brother, but I just don't give you too much credence on that. I don't give that too much credence.
That's why you're on that side.
I look at it and I agree with your. Listen, stop that. Listen, I agree with your initial perception of Fultz. Obviously, he has a jumper, which is something that the Sixers lack. Right. That outside shooting.
Left hand, right hand.
Right. There's questions about his defense, whether or not he's going to be consistent on the defensive end, especially guarding the man in front of him. Right. He has a tendency to let guys blow by him and try to get the weak side block, which, sounds nice, if it's Dwayne Wade doing it, because Dwayne Wade can actually face up and guard you too. If he develops that, I think he'll be a solid player. In terms of what your comments were about the winning and culture, because we just got in this heavy argument, again, my position is it's summer league, it's preseason. These guys in their mind aren't looking at it as these games count. So yes, they're going in there and they're trying to work on things, but I look at it like a pitcher in spring training who goes out there and works on pitches that he'll never throw in a game or pitches he's trying to get better at throwing. So he's not going to throw it in a game that counts. He'll throw it in a game against, some AA hitter trying to make a roster, and if it gets hit, then it gets hit, and he knows where to make adjustments. That's how I equate the preseason. The guys are going to work on different things. They're going to try to finesse on certain things that they can bring us in the regular season. And while I think it's good that the Sixers are working on these things, I think the wins and losses just don't hold any water right now. I think the bigger piece is getting these guys to start the season healthy and developing a culture of winning because they've had 3 years of losing.
Right. Healthy is a lie. Healthy is a unicorn. It is a deer, bruh. It is the tooth fairy. It doesn't exist in Philadelphia 6 years or lower.
Listen, you have blame management for drafting them. Then what do you want me to say? Listen,
we'll just speak the truth.
I am speaking the truth. I don't understand, and I get the fact that they like Markelle Fultz. I understand they didn't give up a lot to get him. But people, I've heard, these pundits, these people going up and down about how, oh my God, we got Markelle Fultz, we got the best kid in the draft, hands down. I said, but he came into the draft injured. He was coming off of injury. Mm-hmm. Have we not had enough of taking guys coming off of injury?
Well, I was a Josh Jackson guy. I know that
I was a Josh Jackson guy.
Yeah, I'm a guy who wants people who can defend the perimeter. That's what the game has become. People run down court, they go around the perimeter, and they either create and go in or take the jumper, and he's excellent for defending people out there like that.
So John, who do you have, Brian Colangelo or Sam Hinkie?
You know what, I am, and he knows this, I'm not really a big fan of anything that Hinkie has done, because Hinkie...
He said anything.
No, I think he did a very good job of creating a bad situation to give them more draft picks and assets. I think he did a very good job at that. But there is no other general manager. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
Philadelphia had this situation where there was just this cry to get, and it's smart because of the way the system is set up, that if you're mediocre, you stay mediocre in the NBA. You have to become really, really bad. Or really, really good. And one way to do that, potentially, is through the draft. But if you look at what Sam Hinkie did, okay, where's Nerlens Noel now? Where was that now? And now we have a former number 3 pick in Jahlil Okafor, who cannot play any defense.
Right.
And now they're in a situation where his value has been diminished. So given the opportunity to make the 76ers bad and to accumulate assets, he's done a good job of that. But in the real world, where's Sam? Nobody's in a rush to sign Sam Hinkie now. Because you can't just bring that on and just say, we're going to lose, we're going to have the rookie of the year, and if I don't like him, we'll get rid of him and we'll start all over again. That's just not a realistic job for a general manager.
That's fair.
And it's interesting, along with fair, because when you talk about Jahlil Okafor, and full disclosure, I'm a Jahlil Okafor fan. I like Jahlil Okafor. I believe he can play in this league. And, you shake your head, no, but here's the thing. I don't like the fact that you had a kid that played at a high level. All right, won championships every level, was the reason why teams won the championship. You brought him in a situation where you said, chill, just suck. We want you to not be good.
There's no leadership in place.
Yeah, and he went back crazy. Like, he lost his mind. And now it's he doesn't play defense. And this is something on the business side. What happened in Boston was a young man losing his mind. Him dancing in the middle of the street, him attacking a fan. It wasn't the first time a fan had said something to him. It was basically the accumulation of foolishness that we may not all be privy to, but that was going behind doors. But my question is, when do you stop saying what Jahlil Okafor can't do and start maybe building around what he can do?
Absolutely. And some team, what they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. If you look around the NBA, in spite of the fact that we're so enamored now with people shooting the ball, teams taking 43-pointers per game, if you can get a big man on the block who can wheel and deal, because his footwork offensively is as good as anybody in the league. And that being said, of the post players, looking at how mediocre post players are now, who will he have to defend? He'll have to defend Joel, who can step inside and can step outside.
Never heard of him. I never heard of him. Listen. What does he play?
He plays every now and then.
He's in the big 3, right?
He's not big.
It's not a big 3 now. It's not a big 3. Okay. You can't not be. I want this because he has phenomenal skills.
The Twitter All-Star.
The Twitter All-Star. We'll call him the Twitter All-Star. You know what I'm talking about.
Ralph Sampson 2.0. Call him by his name.
But you do have to have questions. Here's my question about him. He's 22 years old. Mm-hmm. He should never, ever be healthier than he is now. You can't buy back your youth. If he can't do it at 22, what will he do at 28 when the body starts to break down? Those are my questions. And I don't think people deal with that the way they should, because they are so enamored with what might be.
We agree.
And I'm dying to will West Philadelphia Overbrook High School, but this is a reality situation with him.
And you know what? And I agree with that about Embiid, which is gonna be why watching it when his free agency comes up in a couple of seasons, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Sixers do with him. Because a lot of people were saying, listen, cut losses and move him. Some people were saying you got to go off of what he does. I think he needs to show people he can be durable and be healthy. He needs to be able to show that he can play 55, 60 games. Do I think he can? No, but that's what he'll need to show folks.
That's a big if.
That's a big if. Now, back to Okafor. You know what? I hate Okafor because I am a guy that believes that everything starts on the defensive end of the floor. And when I sat there and watched clips of him time and time again in the paint, standing around looking at the moon while guys are dunking on him and not get rebounds, I'm just like, you're a big man. You're 7 feet tall. If you had half of the energy and effort that Rashawn Holmes had, you'd be a perennial all-star.
His game reminds me, because of the fact that he plays low to the ground, a lot of an Al Jefferson.
It was coming.
And he reminds me of Al Jefferson, a guy that can play offensively but gives you nothing on the defensive end. Now, Al Jefferson had a long NBA career. Why? Because even though he wasn't good defensively, he gave you effort. And he was a good pro. So he found ways to be relevant on certain teams where he could fit. That's about the ceiling for Jahlil Okafor. He'll never be this guy that's going to go and be a perennial Kevin Garnett starter or somebody like that that's going to give you 10, 12 years of all-star play. He'll be a nice fringe bench player who can come in and give you, 15 to 20 minutes, maybe average 10, 12 points per, if you're in a spot where you need a guy to start there, fine. But that's not what a number 3 overall pick is supposed to be. And this is where it frustrated me with the whole Hinkie process because, again, they drafted based on BPA instead of best fit for the team. Devin Booker, who's a flat-out stud shooter that they were screaming for, was on the board. If you don't want to take Okafor, you trade down and you get Booker later. And you get more assets, since that's what Hinkie loved to do anyway. You get assets. You had already had Embiid. You had already had Noel. Why on God's earth do you take another big man when you got so many other holes on this roster? That's why I didn't like Hinkie.
Okay, so we started off with the number 1 draft pick, he is not, although he's not a Sixer. I do want to know what you think about Lonzo Ball. I'm a big Baller brand fan,
yes,
so don't. I'm like a big Baller.
They don't come out until November.
Yes, hard shoes.
And by the way, his son's playing terrible in them.
I don't want them church shoes. I'm good. What do you think about Lonzo Ball?
I like his game. No, I like his game. The shot. I don't think the shot's ever going to be readjusted. I think the shot is what he has.
It is what it is.
Yeah, but I think he's a guy. The ball comes to him when he's on the court, and he's a facilitator first, with a lot more athleticism than people give him credit for. And that is what the league is coming to. If you look at Golden State, KD. Well, you're talking about a super league talent, but a guy who can facilitate and do everything. But I'm a fan. I like what he said. If you just blot out the noise of his helicopter father, you'll be all right.
Oh, we fathers.
Yeah, there we
go.
No. These are two different situations. As a father, an African American who is involved in his kids, I am in love with Mr. Ball.
Okay, all right, there you go.
But from the standpoint of running his mouth,
thank you.
And when he has done, he's created a buzz. Magic Johnson will be able to control that.
Right.
So I think that's what you'll see.
So speaking of Magic Johnson, he's like a great. But we're gonna talk about people. Yes, listen. If you can live as long as Magic Johnson did, you got the voodoo, and I don't want no problems with you. That's all.
Felicia Michelle.
So.
Out of bounds, coming up short.
At 2:30. So one of our new segment that I'm really excited about is called In Their Prime. So this is where we're going to talk about athletes in the prime of their careers, compare the two. So this week, starting off, we're going to have AI or Westbrook. I mean, Westbrook is kind of already still in his prime, but AI,
Good point.
You guys started. You guys didn't throw a softball out there.
No, we didn't.
I think, and I thought about this. I would say Westbrook right now.
My man.
I would say Westbrook right now.
Is that just like sheer athleticism?
No, it's just the whole package.
Or swagger? Because I think that should count too.
No, I love Allen Iverson, and I think, Allen Iverson.
Swagger should count.
Allen Iverson would have been. Well, he is great. He's the best small man I've ever seen. He and Isaiah Thomas, but because he would not conform his game in the least bit, the 76ers had to build around him completely of what is a team game.
That's what they do.
With Westbrook is 6'4". Westbrook shoots better from the outside. Westbrook plays more defense. AI played the passing lane. He did. AI played the passing lanes. And one thing, if you look at OKC and if you look at that situation, I truly believe that, Katie saw that this guy may be more of an alpha than I am. I think that's why Katie stepped out of there. I really feel that way. As great as KD is, so I would
earlier
cast
segment,
my vote.
don't it?
I'm casting my vote with Westbrook. And it hurts me to the core.
Because you covered AI for years.
I covered AI, and it hurts
to
the core to say that. But I say Westbrook.
I'm going to agree with you with Russell Westbrook. I think because of his physical dimensions, comparable to Allen Iverson's, in today's NBA, Allen Iverson could average 35 a game easy. Because hold on,
okay,
he would be unguardable.
He would be unguardable because of the fact that if you tiki-taka fouls and whistles for everything.
Unguardable players now.
Correct. And in a league where you get a whistle for at a guy versus when he had to play and go through the lane against Shaqs and Ewings and all these big guys who were beating him up in the paint consistently night after night, and he having to play injured, etc. I think he could dominate today's game. I think the fact that he's not an effective outside shooter would hurt him because he's never been an efficient shooter. He's more of a volume scorer. When you look at Russell Westbrook, he's a lot of the same in terms of those things, but the fact that he's so athletic, he can get to the rim, and he doesn't mind running down the lane and dunking on three guys, and he plays with such violence and ferocity to his game that in terms of a team, I think he fits. Now, the biggest difference between the two is, do you think that Russell Westbrook, with the fact that Allen Iverson never had another superstar to play with?
Why not?
Until he went to Denver and played with Melo, he never played with another superstar his entire career, and that wasn't a fit because they were both ball dominant black holes. But Russell Westbrook played with the second best player in basketball his entire first 7 years of his career. Let me finish. He played with him the first 7 years of his career, and they could not win a title together because he didn't know how to defer the ball.
The second best basketball player on the planet is a tad too sentimental. But go ahead.
We agree. Listen. Off the court, I think that Durant is a bit, wussy. I think he's a mama's boy. He's a little soft in the middle, cookie dough, Pillsbury, all those wonderful things. But in terms of his basketball skill set on the floor, hands down, greatest outside shooter from a big man that tall with that skill set that we've ever seen. We'll never see somebody,
better than Dirk?
Absolutely better than Dirk, because Dirk can't take you off the dribble. He cannot take you off the dribble.
Shooter though.
Yes. All right, go ahead. Look at his efficiency numbers. Look at his efficiency numbers. Right. Okay. So Kevin Durant and his ability with the way he handles the ball, controls the ball, and literally is a one-stop shop in terms of all his skills. He's what you call a five-tool player. He's what I look at as a five-tool player on the NBA level, and the fact that he's 6'11" is what creates the mismatch.
So Westbrook or Iverson?
I already said Westbrook at the start of the segment. Are you paying attention?
No, it's just that you start off so good and then you lead us into a place that we don't.
I wanted to break down my opinion and why I got to the conclusion.
That's been the theme of today's show. Everett's good for 30 seconds, and then after that, we don't know where the hell he's going. I don't even know for this one. I was the biggest Allen Iverson fan, but as I've gotten a chance to learn the game of basketball, he infuriates me more and more. Westbrook gives you everything he has. Whether you want it all or not, he still gives it to you. But here's where the difference is, and this is why I also choose Westbrook. The game doesn't end when the time stops. There's film, there's nutrition, there's weight room,
there's practice.
All those things you get from Russell Westbrook. All those elements. Now look, whether you want to argue about him being an alpha male, whether he ran Kevin Durant out for all those things, that's all fine. But the fact of the matter is, Russell Westbrook is what you pray for. He has all the intangibles that you can't teach, and you have to teach the other things. Allen Iverson was a guy who just played every game like it was his last, and it wasn't. There's a journey.
And there was his inflexibility, in that he would not change his game. And when you're as great as he was, let's be quite honest about it. What did Kobe Bryant say? We all thank God every day that Allen Iverson wasn't born 6'4" or 6'5". But when you're so inflexible, you have great. I think Larry Brown is one of the greatest teachers of basketball ever.
He couldn't get him.
And he because of you have to go with the Clarence Weatherspoons, my man Aaron McKee, who I love, Dikembe Mutombo. You couldn't put another superstar alongside of him because
he wanted to jack
he wanted to be a 5'11" shooting guard.
Right. And the liability that he was on defense,
Russell Westbrook's a liability.
He's not a liability. He struggles, but Allen Iverson was a liability. I remember Rod Strickland, and I like Rod Strickland, so that's why I remember it. But I remember the things Rod Strickland used to do to him in D.C. should have been outlawed in 4 counties. Like he was a wretched defender at times. And the bottom line is he did a lot because people expected so little of him. Russell has done a lot because you expect a lot of him, and that to me is where the line differs.
So it's unanimous then.
Oh, so you going to the blouse man too?
I'm just vote for AI because nobody else did. And I just like the swagger, the answer, the chinchillas. That's what I go.
Listen, if we have to go with off the court, it's Allen Iverson, and it ain't close. It's Allen Iverson, it ain't. I don't want to do wearing blouses and dresses with me in the streets. I don't want that. I'll take the dude wearing chains, do-rags, and cornrows at 40 all day.
I think they need a dress code for Russell more than they need one.
We agree.
What did he have on at the ESPYs?
Oh,
we're gonna talk about that on Out of Bounds, which is gonna come up after this. So thank you.
Frenchish.
So Everett, I'm trying to wrap up this show.
Sorry.
Thank you so much. Watch the NBA Files here on RVNTV. If you want to see more, make sure you visit RVNTV.tv and follow us on Facebook at RVN Sports. For my guys, I'm Felicia Michelle. This is Kwame Fisher-Jones, John Mitchell, Everett Terry, and Kwame's Hotline Bling. See you next week.